Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Mr. Carnage, and today we're going to talk about something. So, I got a few messages about the video that I made about the graphics accelerators, and they're like, well, why don't we just SLI? Dude, first of all, you can't find one video card, let alone two, and even if you could, you're going to spend $2,400 on two video cards for absolutely hardly any benefit whatsoever. That'd be like giving a stripper $200 for her to put her clothes back on. It doesn't make sense. So, uh, SLI, when it first came out, was kind of a cool thing. Well, originally it was invented in 1998 by 3DFX, Voodoo, and then NVIDIA bought that company along with the technology, and it just sat, in a vault somewhere for like 6 or 7 years, and then they released it. And I think SLI, the reason it was so popular then was there was so much misinformation about what it actually does. It was like, if you buy three cards, it does this, and it'll wash your dog, and it's like, okay, cool, I guess. Um, and we thought, of course, back then they're like, oh, games are eventually going to catch on, and they're going to start utilizing this technology, and we're going to get games that totally utilize it, natively, and everything's going to be great. And no, that never happened, not even a little bit. Um, I think even to this day, there's like only a handful of games that actually support it. Um, so back then, I mean, yeah, if you were rocking a couple of um, GTX 8800 cards, and they were SLI'd, which was the most sold video card in history. Yeah, I would say that was probably a smart thing. Um, Video cards then weren't as expensive as they are now, nowhere near. So you could get away with buying two or three, of those cards. Um, I actually think the last decent card that you could buy SLI profile wise, where you saw any kind of like substantial gain, was like the 270 card. So it's been years, years and years and years. So that's why, smartass, like SLI offers you really no benefit for that type of investment. I mean, $2,400 minimum for two decent video cards. And then there's this misinformation. Well, if you get two 3070s, it'll equal one 3090. No, that's not how it works. Like, I don't know where people get a lot of this misinformation, but that's not how it works. So, if that's what you seriously think and you spent that kind of money on two of those cards, okay. Um, and then you go to play games and the game doesn't actually even utilize one card fully, let alone two. So, I guess good for you. Um, that's just my say on it. So, graphics accelerator, whole lot cheaper. Now, if you're going to go the route of video processing, rendering, streaming, it would be a whole lot cheaper just to get an accelerator card for that purpose. As far as gaming goes, you're better off just throwing your 1080 Ti back in there and using that as a physics accelerator. You're much better off doing that. So that's my take on SLI, at least, and then even NVIDIA is killing it off. So the 3090 card will be the last card to support it. Um, so definitely not something that I think is, even really worth doing nowadays. It hasn't been for years and years and years. And getting even more into that, AMD's Crossfire was never really any better. Um, so, yeah, I mean, multiple GPUs are, I guess, a good thing to have. Like I said, if you're doing video processing, but as far as gaming goes, there's really no benefit whatsoever to owning two really expensive cards that you can't even find. So, um, yeah, but the future in NVIDIA, I mean, maybe they might come up with something that's cool for having multiple GPUs, something that will fully utilize the card. I don't know, but I honestly think that SLI more than anything was a cash grab for the video card industry. It was the holy grail that people wanted it to be, and it just never became what it what it was supposed to be. So yeah, definitely SLI has spent its I think it spent its best years for sure. But with technology always changing, we got ray tracing and DLSS, and AMD's working on their version, Intel's working on their version. These technologies that come out, you can tell they're centered around one graphics processor, and I think it's going to be that way probably from here on out. I don't see any of the companies really focusing on that because, as a coder, coding a game to even utilize technology like that is a complete afterthought. You know, they want to get the game up and running, especially AAA titles. They're told like, you have a year, figure it out. Those AAA titles, they're on a time frame, so SLI is like way in the back. If they put it in the game at all, it was completely a sales gimmick, in my opinion. Because I never saw something SLI that I was like, oh my god. But so yeah, I don't ever see it coming back or making a comeback. I don't see a new technology taking its place anytime soon. So yeah, SLI, it's dead. It has been for a while, so I'm not sure why there's still so many people like, hey man, you should SLI your like, the misinformation about it still to this day is staggering. So yeah, SLI, it's a dead thing. So hopefully you learn something and you look it up yourself, that you'll maybe stop touting that SLI. I've watched a lot of videos where people have been like, oh, I've SLI'd 3 or 4 of these cards, and while it's slightly better with older cards, definitely not worth the price of a video card. So, with that being said, I do know that Intel's talking about utilizing something with their onboard graphics processor and then their video cards that they're going to be releasing probably later this year. I don't know a lot about that yet because there isn't a whole lot of information, but supposedly it's supposed to be some kind of like turbo cache, like what that was back in the early 2000s on NVIDIA cards. It's supposed to be something like that, so I guess we'll just wait and see. But in the meantime, you guys are awesome. Thank you all. We've gotten a whole lot more subscribers and views lately. I definitely appreciate it. And we will catch you guys all on the next video.